Hi guys, it's Gareth here, aka Rookie, and welcome to my dating profile video. Basically, after doing the video on rules of relationships, I thought I'd do a dating video. I saw this video about a year ago by Emma Blackery, so I thought I'd just basically do that video. So here we go. First question is, do I believe in love at first sight? Shockingly guys, I actually do believe in love at first sight. Now, it can be based on looks, but it can also be based on anything. It just can be based on someone's smile, someone's attitude, someone's music taste, in fact, even. I do believe in love at sight, but that's not what I would call real love. That's what I call infatuation love or first sight love. You can build from that into proper love, but love doesn't come just like that instantaneously. So the second question is, what do you do for fun? Well, I go to gigs. I go to a lot of gigs. Those of you who know me personally know that literally what I do, and those of you who follow my channel for a while know literally that's all I do. I go to gigs. Oh, I play video games as well, and I do YouTube videos because they're fun. The third question is, do you want or do you have any children? I don't have any children, I know of, knock on wood. But I also, I'm open to the idea of children, but at the end of the day, I'd be quite happy not to have children, I mean, it depends on the person, with the right person you might want children. I mean, I was in a relationship with one girl that I really wanted kids, she didn't, and that ended the relationship. And then there was another girl that she didn't want kids and I didn't want kids either, so that was fine. So it depends where you are in life, where you are as a couple together, it can determine things. The fourth question is, what do you look for in a relationship? Well, I look for someone who's going to love me as much as I love them. I don't want someone who's more obsessed with me than I am with them, because that can get really weird really quickly, especially when they're like, bunny boiler level obsessed with you. And also, but I don't want someone who's like me compared to my love, I want someone who's on the same level, who loves me as much as I love them. I want someone who's gonna hang out with me, who's gonna want to have their own space, who's gonna give me my own space as well. Someone who want to go to gigs, and someone who's gonna want to just chill in the house some days. The fifth question is, what would I like you to know about me? And what I'd like you guys to know about me is that though I'm kind of a big guy, I'm kind of like a big softie, even in an armor brief, which is strangely enough, a teddy bear, though I don't sleep with a teddy bear, don't get me wrong. I have this teddy bear, which is a star of my Snapchat. Yeah, but I have things like that. I have other, I am a big kid at heart, and I probably always will be a big kid at heart. Sixth question is, if I won a lottery today, how would I spend it? Well, the usual things that it'd be, I'd pay for all my debts, I'd buy a big house, I'd buy a big car, I'd go and pay for a big holiday, and I'd probably take all my family on a big nice holiday. And I'd quit my job. I'd quit my job. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my job and it's challenging and I do it, but when you win millions, who would want to keep their job? What was your first crush? My first crush. There was a girl I was in school with, her name was Steph. She knows who she is probably. Basically I fancied her, and basically, as a stupid kid I was, basically I think it was told my brother, who then told one of his friends, who then told his brother, who happened to be one of my friends in school, who then asked me, and I said yes, but don't tell anyone. He was okay, no problem. And then he goes in, and then he eventually gets to her, and she knows about things go in school, and then she comes to me saying, do you fancy me? And I stupidly, even to this day, kick myself at this. I said no, because I was a coward. Yeah? If a girl asks you, comes up and says, do you fancy me? Your answer to that question is yes. Like, even if it's going to lead away, your answer to that question is always yes. Right? Always answer yes to that question. If you had 6 months to live, well, what would you do? Well, if I had 6 months to live, I think I'd go travelling again. I love to travel. I did it when I was younger, when I was about 24. And I went travelling around the world. And it was the most amazing thing I do, but there's still countries I didn't visit, I didn't want to see. So I'd do that. I'd probably do that for the first 3 or so months, maybe 4, and then for the last 2 months with my family, just talking to them, just, reassuring that everything's great, and telling basically everyone that I love them, and that I'm grateful that they've been part of my life. are you a morning person or a night person? Now, if you'd asked me this question 5, maybe even 7 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, no, definitely been about 4 5 years ago, I would have said I'm a morning person. I'd be able to get one. These days, forget it. I am a night person. I generally go to bed until like 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I have to get up in the morning for 6, and I manage to do that quite easily. So I'm definitely a night owl. So if you have friends coming over, what would you cook? I'm just going to go on the last meal I cooked when I had friends over, which was a stir fry. I made a Chinese stir fry, but I toned down the spice because I wasn't sure how spicy they wanted it. And after that, there was some leftovers. I had that next day, and what I ended up doing, I ended up chucking a load of chili powder in there because it was too bland for me. They seemed to like it, but they weren't a big fan of onions, which I put loads of onions in there. I'm not usually a big fan of onions, but I think, and everyone else likes onions, so I put them in. I should just put my normal amount of onions in there. If you could travel back in time to change one mistake you made, what would you go back and change? There are a few things I would go, a few mistakes I made. One of them was obviously I mentioned I would actually, when asked by Steph if I fancied it, I would have said yes. There are other things I'd go back and change. There's a situation where I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she wanted to go and live in Newcastle. I should not have gone. I should have stayed where I was. I'd have ended up working in Peterborough, maybe even living there, and I'd have had a nicer job than I have now, and I'd have actually a job using my degree. But if I hadn't done that, I would never have gone travelling around the world, and I'd never gone back to gone back to live with my parents, and then living in Swansea. Then moved to Southampton, and now living in Glasgow. So I probably wouldn't go back and change things, because at the end of the day, every mistake is something you learn from and develop your character and takes you to somewhere you want to be. So every mistake is an opportunity to learn how to better yourself. So I don't think I would change anything, because I would not be the person I am today. And the last question, a question I always hate being asked, you get asked this in interviews as well: where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? So for for me, 5 years' time, I see myself still living in Glasgow. Hopefully I found a lucky person to be with me, and maybe we have a little sprog on the way, or we already have a little sprog running around, and that's basically what I'd love. That's where I see myself, living here in Glasgow, still working in the same company, maybe a few rungs further up the ladder, but yeah, that's what I'd like to see myself in 5 years' time. Because I've got my work life down, I've got my social life down now since moving here to Glasgow. It's just that relationship I'm just missing, that special someone I could call mine. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, have fun.